Welcome to my channel. I am Leah Elizabeth, and today I wanted to pick up the camera and show something really interesting that I'm going to be doing today. But first of all, say hi to Zara. Zara's feeding right now in the car, and we're all packed up. A little excessive, like, but very necessary. So my husband's always like, we're overpacking, we're doing this, it's too much. But you know what? When you have a baby, there's a lot of things to pack. Stroller, car seat, stroller seat, backpack, food stuff, changing stuff, diapers. There's like so many stuff. So we're just headed to my parents for the weekend. That's why I had to bring all this stuff. But first stop, we're going to this clinic. I'm really excited to share this information because I don't think a lot of people know about this. I find it very interesting. Well, after your pregnancy, a lot of people experience a lot of hair loss. Me in particular, not so much, but like I still find it very interesting about the journey and like what you could do to like prevent hair loss and even just how to make your hair more healthy even. So there's a specialist called like Trichologist. So I'll put it right here because it's hard to pronounce. And it's an umbrella under dermatology. And basically they're a specialist when it comes to scalp health, and they can either reset the health on your scalp. They can even like do all sorts of treatments, facials. So a scalp is like a facial, but it's a facial, so like a scalp facial. You know what I mean?
What?
So I'm interested in like trying out those kind of treatments because sometimes I get like dandruff, or like when I'm really stressed out, I scratch my head a lot and then like flakes come out. So it's like I don't have any like extreme bad situation with my scalp, but I just want to see like what's out there and what kind of treatment. And it's really cool because they like analyze like your sebum and your hair follicles and the density and all these terms. So I'll vlog more when I get there. See you there.
Have you noticed a difference in like the density here? Mm-hmm. Okay. So one of the most common places to see a difference in hair density with telogen effluvium is the temporal area. So when you see before and afters online of people losing their hair here and recovering here, it's almost always telogen effluvium. So we're going to check oil and hydration levels now. So I'm going to use this thin skin diagnostic tool. So essentially this is just collecting oil samples from the surface of your head, the top, and the crown. Essentially, what we're looking for is we're looking to see how healthy or how balanced your hydrolipid film is, right? So this is a sebum reader, it reads oil. So your oil levels, your average is 55, which is above, balanced. No surprise. So between 25 and 50 is balanced. Above 50 is oily, below 25 is low oil. We haven't already discussed this. Oil is a normal byproduct that's produced in the skin to defend the skin from microbes, so it keeps the pH of the skin low or acid. And it also is a fluid that will overproduce when there's hormonal changes or stress in the body. So again, it's that defense mechanism. So when you're going through hormonal changes like puberty or like, right, when you're going through stress, we break out. So that's all very normal. Oil is good, but too much oil is not good because too much oil causes itchy environment, and that has to do with the acidity of the oil. So it's a waxy acidic ester. So when it over accumulates, of course, it's going to cause irritation, and then that leads to scratching, and then of course other problems like seborrheic dermatitis can develop, or in some cases we can injure ourselves. And there's bleeding, pustules. So depending on how much oil somebody produces, that tells us a little bit about how frequently they should be washing their scalp, and also what ingredients they need to use to wash their scalp. So it's kind of like skincare, really. Scalp care is the new skincare. And that if you haven't heard it yet, you're going to hear it everywhere very soon. People are going to be using that.
Is that the oil?
Mm-hmm. You're going to hear that a lot too when you do it. Ew, your face is red. So here, what did I notice? The same things you probably noticed. So there's this perifollicular scale, so dried up oil, a little bit of redness. Later in the UV light, we can see still in these pictures where it's like darker around the follicle funnel. That's inflammation for sure. So postpartum, the hairs thin everywhere evenly. So actually all of the hair would look like this. Something to address that you mentioned is the irregular or the spacing. This spacing, believe it or not, is similar to this spacing and this spacing. This looks like it has less hair because the individual diameter of the hair is finer. So there is no follicle opening or follicular opening here, so you never had a hair growing here. Any hair that you've lost has already probably grown back, or it's been broken in this one case, but it's just hasn't reached the hair body index of these hairs because these hairs are older. So as hair stays on the head longer, so the average hair growth cycle in a woman is about, for anagen hairs, let's say no genetic predisposition, maybe 5 years. For men, it's slightly shorter, actually. So what am I looking for with this lighting? Well, usually these red dots, which are oxidized sebum, so it's oil that has hardened, it's like having a blackhead on the scalp. We see more of these red dots in areas where the hair is going through changes, because we've already said that oil is connected to hormones and changes in the body. So when there's more changes, there's more oil production. So now, where do we see these red dots? Everywhere. That's not unusual for people that go through TE or changes in their hair because oil is overproducing all over the head. We see a lot of it in the temporal area as well. That's also closer to the face, so sebaceous glands are pretty active there, and there's no hair to suck up the oil. So this is normal. It's normal to have this yellow and red dot stuff, but too much of it is not good, right? In the same way that on the face, we don't want too many blackheads. Eventually, they're going to cause problems. On the scalp, it's the same. It doesn't cause hair loss. It doesn't accelerate thinning, but it's a byproduct, again, that we want to address. It's telling me what ingredients you need to use for your specific scalp type to keep this hair growing well. The first thing I recommend, which I've said many times already today, is usually the first step here for every hair and scalp disorder. And that first step is a treatment that we do that is the equivalent of like having a facial for your scalp, okay? But the treatment is important because it enables us to start with a clean slate. So whatever happened after the baby, the scalp, the hair, whatever, we're going to remove all that dead skin. We're going to remove all of that dried up oil, all of that oxidized sebum, and we're going to start with a nice fresh start scalp. The protocol I'm going to put you on after that is going to be designed to treat overproductive sebaceous glands and to sort of balance the skin. Eventually, I think I'm going to put you on a protocol that we have here that is all natural, that treats It's not a hereditary hair loss treatment. It's not as strong as the CR Lab products that we have for genetic hair loss. It's a little gentler, but it's also natural. So when women get pregnant and they feel comfortable using it, and they can keep using it throughout the pregnancy too.
All right, so I just left the clinic and I learned a lot, specifically about even like postpartum after having a baby. There's a little bit of hair loss at the front here and here, and that I have very oily skin, but it's not surprising, she said, because, I went through pregnancy and I'm nursing and, my hormones are like up and down and left and right. So when that happens, you tend to be more oily, and I'm slightly dehydrated on my skin. Like there was so many parameters. There was like pH levels and everything. Well, another thing interesting too was that she said the oil, there's a little bit of buildup on the hair follicle itself and it crystallizes. So she said that it's probably best that I shower and shampoo more often because the sebum is like slightly crystallizing and it kind of like suffocates the hair follicle from coming out of it. But I'll let her explain everything because she's the expert. But she said there's a bit of inflammation, but there's nothing to worry about. But she said the main thing was like iron levels, like iron. Also another thing, I have like this one little tiny bald spot right here on my scalp, and it's from when I was a kid and I had chicken pox and I scratched it off, and then there was a scab there, and I asked her if I'm able to grow hair there again, and she said, nope, you'll never grow a hair there ever again, R.I.P.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
And then I even asked her, like, what do you think about like the hair transplant when they take a hair like here and they put it on your eyebrow? And she said, like, for women, she's like, I don't know, for women it's not that great. Like, I don't know, she said she's not that big of a fan, but she said for men, she's like, it would actually be really good for men because they have coarser hair and it would like make it look better. But she wasn't a fan for women. She said you should also go to get a scalp every 6 months to a year to just reset your scalp and take out the, not plaque, but like the sebum blockage, and just like do a reset and a clean of your scalp. So I thought that was really cool.
Your hair looks pretty good. Healthy.
Thanks. I just thought it's like really interesting, like this whole process of even like trichotomy. I always keep forgetting. Trichologist. It's really interesting under dermatology. I think if I was a doctor, like, I think I would go into dermatology or like...
Didn't you say you wanted to like study about the faces, all about...
Yeah, aesthetics, I think it's called. There's a lot of things. But you know what? That's life. Like, I'm interested in a lot. It's very interesting. Do I want to make a living out of it? I don't know. But I find it's interesting. There we go. All right. We're at my parents' now. Can you, Zara, say hi? Say hi. Zara and my husband were at the park, and she was swinging while Mommy went to go get her scalp analyzed. She's like, what's that sound? I hear an airplane. It's an airplane. Alright, so that's going to conclude the video from now. The next video, make sure you follow up because I'm going to be doing the scalp facial as a treatment. And then I'll be able to show you the before and after shot of the treatment. So stay tuned for that video, but thank you for tuning in. Zara says hi. Hi. She's 8 months old now. So proud of you. Thanks for watching. Bye. Say bye. Bye. She waves.